Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Dow Nifty. In this video I'll talk about basics of stock market and why everyone should become an investor. Now before we move ahead, let's look at some of the points of discussion for the video. I'll be busting all the myth about stock market, why you should invest in stock, my journey in Indian stock market. Now I started back in 2002 and my investing career went until 2011. Post which I didn't make a single investment and just let my portfolio grow. Then I moved to US and I have continued my journey over there. And lastly, I'll talk about the magic of long-term holding. Now friends, this is a very important thing which you shouldn't miss, and please stick to the end of the video. Now, when we talk about some of the myths of stock market, what are the most common ones that we hear from people or even our friends, relatives, anybody it could be, that stock markets are risky. Your investment can go down over a period of time, so don't invest. It's nothing but gambling. You need luck in stock market with your investments. And last but not the least, you need to have some financial knowledge. This is a major hurdle why many people have a mental block and don't just invest in stock market directly. So as I told you, I started my journey back in 2002, and these are some of the events that have lined up for the last 18 years in Indian stock market, and few major global events like the Great Recession, tsunami, and then a very recent one, which is COVID-19 crisis. Now, if somebody would have shown me this future, then I would have definitely been scared to invest in market, right? So let's look at where the market went. As I told you, I started in 2002, ideally with all those future events that I showed you, which were a hurdle to economy and could have brought a stop to the economy. Eventually it shouldn't have grown, right? But then look at where the market has gone. It has gone up and up and up. Definitely there were dips here, there were dips here. There was a massive dip recently in March 2020 over here, but still in a broader picture, if you look at, the market has went up. So is the market risky? I ask you this question. I don't feel so. Now let's have a look at another parameter, whether market is risky or not. So if you would have just invested rupees 1 lakh in the Nifty 50 index in any of these years in past 20-25 years, where would have been your investment? So I have taken this data from stableinvestor.com. You can go and have a look yourself. But if you see over here in the last column, you would see that there is not a single negative row. That means had you invested 1 lakh in any of these years and just left for your money to grow, you would have been sitting on this particular final amount as of date on 2018 end. So now I ask you, is the stock market risky? In any of the year, has your money gone down? The answer is no. Now let's look at another thing. Market is nothing but gambling. You need luck. I've just put a pic of roulette table over here. Now if somebody would go and play a roulette and they would like to bet on the two colors, red or black, what's your probability of success? If you see the table closely, your probability of success is 18 by 38. So there are two green zeros over here and there are 36 numbers on the table. So you have less than 50% of the probability of winning, while the market has more than 50%. I mean, the casino has more than 50% of winning probability. But if I talk about the same thing in the stock market, what is your probability of success? Now, the chart I'm listing over here is Nifty percentage return every year. It just means if you come in any of these years, 2002, 2006, 2009, and just bet 1 lakh rupees on the Nifty index, how much return would you get in individual years? Now you can see it clearly. In the past 20 years, there were only 3 major downfalls. But on those 15, 16 times, you have ended up winning. And look at the percentages. When you had the worst crash, it was down 51%. So if you would have put 1 lakh rupees, you would have been down by 51% on your money. But there have been great winners like 2003 when it was up 71%, 2009 when it was up by 75%. So had you invested 1 lakh every year in just the Nifty index, you would have gained a lot in the longer run. So definitely market is not gambling. Even if you play it like gambling, you'll still end up winning because the probability of winning percentage is on your side. Uh, the next myth what we are busting is market is only successful for people with financial knowledge. You need to have some financial knowledge. That's the biggest mental block which many of our Indians have while they start their investing career, or they feel fear from investing. So I have listed here a few of the billionaires who have made big through investing in Indian stock market, and if you see, none of them are having a sound financial knowledge. I mean, one of the biggest players, Radhakrishan Damani, he has been a big investor and probably the top 3 richest person in India. He's an undergrad. Mr. Porenju Veliathi is from the law background. Vijay Kedia is a BCom, and Mr. Rajiv Khanna, who's an engineer. And lastly, I would talk about luck factor once more. So, who are the people who actually need luck in the market? So I have listed here some of the parameters. People who have no idea about the company management and its business, who are not in news, who don't know what quarter by quarter company is doing, how are their balance sheets looking like, are they profitable over a longer period of years, or are they going down over a period of year due to impact in business. And there are people who are only interested in intraday trading and swing trading. They genuinely put their bets for earning quick bucks in a short span of time. So they end up losing, and then they go around and speak things like market is not lucky for me, or it needs luck to be a rich person in the market or to grow your wealth. And of course, you need a good portfolio management and diversification. So talking about this, those people who have all these check boxes ticked, they won't need luck in the market. They are definitely going to increase their wealth and grow it over a period of time. Now, lastly, why I'm telling you, why I'm pushing you to invest in stocks directly is because I have listed here some of the common medium of investments for Indian investor. Where do they put their money? If you have a saving, where are you generally putting your money? Either you are investing in mutual funds. How much return would they give you? Hardly like 10-15%, maybe 20% if it's a high growth, high risk stock and a good mutual fund, but that too over a period of 5 to 10 years. Then you have PPF as one of the investing instrumentation. That's because you need to save taxes. There is a provision in ATC. Everybody knows that they need to save around 1.5 lakh every year. So people commonly invest in PPF. Then you have LIC, unit linked investment plans, insurance plans, and last but not the least, you have FD, or some people just keep their money in the saving account. Now the idea to show over here is, with this diagram, all these 4 parameters what you have as an investing medium, how do they make money before giving them 8%, 10%, 3%, 5%, whatever chunk of your investment they are giving a plan to grow with. How are they growing their money? Are they earning from somewhere? Yes, they all are putting their money in stock market. Eventually they will earn in double digits, probably 10 times, 5 times, or maybe even just 2 times. They will definitely double the money because they have proper investment guys who will stick to the market, who will invest in market, who will invest your money in market, get all the dividends, and then will give you some share of it. The only security which you are getting is your money is safe, that your return is guaranteed over a period of time. But when you can directly invest in stocks, when you can directly take advantage of that multi-bagger returns, why not invest directly? You should all invest some portion of your money directly in stock. I'm not saying you do not invest in PPF. No, you should invest in PPF. You should have some part of your liquidity in your hands with FD and savings account. And if you want, you can definitely invest in some of the mutual fund, but you should also have direct investment in stocks instead of just having these investments and not investing in stocks. Now let's have a look at my journey in Indian stock markets. And this is a presentation which I did for a few of my colleagues, and I think the prices have increased today. But I just need to show the growth. The idea behind this is just to show the growth over a period of time. As I told you, I had been an investor in Indian stock market from 2002 to 2011. Now, in those 8-9 years when I've invested my money and let it grow, just see my entry points: HDFC Bank, Reliance, Bajaj Auto, Maruti. Just see the growth, where I invested, where I stopped, and when I just let it grow over a period of time, how much returns am I getting. Now let's have a look at some of the other stocks that I own. And in this portfolio which I'm showing you, I'm just owning 8 stocks, just these 8 stocks, and yet it's a very multi-bagger portfolio, and I've gained a huge amount of money over a period of time. Now see the kind of growth. My investment points: 85 for Wipro, 325 for TCS, Britannia I've entered in 152, ITC I entered in 78 rupees. And just look at the prices we are trading today. Now this is just the tip of iceberg. What you are seeing, this is just the growth. Okay, you will just see, okay, I entered in 78 and probably I'm 2x my fund. I entered in 150 and probably I'm 20x my investment. But let me show you the magic of long-term holding, which I talked about in my initial slide. So if you see this, I'll just show you the example of Wipro. How much did I invest in Wipro? 85 rupees per share, right? Now, if you look at the dividend, this is the dividend column, what dividend Wipro has given over the years. Now, I have just taken from 2004. There were dividends given even before that, but since I invested from 2002 and it went on until 2011, I'm just showing you the dividend column, how it went. If you add up all the dividend till date, what the company has given, it amounts to 111 rupees. So basically, my initial investment of 85 is already zero. I've already earned more than that through dividends. And then the growth from 85 to 225, which I think is trading at 280 today, is already a lot more. So this is just bonus for me. My initial investment is already taken care of through dividends. I already got my capital back. And then there's another magic. Number 2 is when the company gives you bonus, when the company gives you stock splits, all those things factor in your favor, especially the bonus. So if you see here, if you take only this time frame, 2004 to over here, just imagine if I had 100 stocks. Just imagine if I had 100 stocks in 2004. Where would I have been sitting? If you do the math, if you see all these ratios and how it grew over the period of time, I would be sitting with 2,600, roughly 2,600 shares of Wipro today. So did I do anything? No, I just held on to those 100 shares, and with time, through different bonus after bonus after bonus, it grew on over a period of time. Now, if you ask me, there were so many bonuses which were given even before 2004. Okay, so being an investor back in 2002, did I think that, okay, company has already had a history of bonus in past 10, 12 years. Will I get more bonus in future? I didn't think about it. I just didn't think about it. I didn't have all these money control and lucrative sites to know about the business and the company history. All I knew was Wipro was one of the good companies which were doing good business, and it has good potential growth with the digitization of India, and then the IT culture which was coming in India, and globalization of IT, Indian IT. So all those things I've taken into consideration, and then I have invested in Wipro. So friends, before I end this video, I have some important tips for the beginners. So as Mr. Warren Buffett, who's the guru of investing, he says, buy an excellent company at fair price. Don't buy fair company and excellent price, because if you buy an excellent company and excellent business, you are definitely going to make big money in future, and you definitely don't need to think about so much about the business, because it's already a good company. It's going to give you multi-bagger returns. All you should know is it's a good business and it has a good management. The entry and exit point. Okay, the entry and exit in a long-term holding should be based on future vision of business. It should not be based on short-term price action. Now, if I tell you like tomorrow, the stocks which I'm holding, definitely back in March 2020, there was a huge crash. But still, I'm asking you, would the prices go down to zero? No. Would the prices go down to the actual level when I bought it? Maybe yes, for some companies, if there is a too steep fall. But then eventually, if it is a good company, the prices will definitely bounce back, which it did for most of the companies. And now they are trading at 52-week high, even after the dip in March 2020. So do not exit for a short-term price action. Always stick on to your holdings. If you believe in the company, if you have already entered after doing your research, and stick to it for long term. Now, the third point I would like to emphasize, there's a very important one. You need to have a good growth story. You may not have the best growth story. Okay, a wonderful business model will always give you good growth. It may not be the best one. A clear-cut example is I showed you I hold Wipro and TCS in this portfolio, but I don't hold Infy. Infy performed much better as an IT company than Wipro and TCS, but still I missed out on Infy. But yet, did I miss on growing my fund? No, I still made a multi-bagger portfolio. I told you about the Bajaj Auto, I told you about Maruti Suzuki, but did I hold Eicher Motors? It probably gave much better returns than these two. Yet I have a multi-bagger portfolio. Do I have Bajaj Finance? It's probably the most talked about growth story of past 10-15 years. I didn't hold any Bajaj Finance stock. I did know about it, but then I stuck to my initial analysis, and as I told, my focus shifted to the US market post 2011 when I went to onsite. So I'm not holding any Bajaj Finance. Still, after missing out on these multi-bagger stocks, I made a good money. I made a good growth in my portfolio with the stocks that I held, because there are hundreds of stock in the stock market. Definitely out of 100, there might be 25-30 good stocks as well. But all you need to know is you need to find those 10 to 12 out of 25-30 stock which you can hold and carry, which you can invest in, and you can hold it on for longer term. And lastly, I would like to say, this is only for beginners, those who are entering the stock market, have a maximum of 10 to 12 stock in your portfolio from the sectors whose business model you understand. Unless and until you understand the business model, you are not going to have your faith, you are not going to have your back in the company that you have invested in. You will always feel finicky, you'll always feel fearful about whether you have made the right investment or not. And it might be you got into a good company through someone's tip or suggestion, but eventually if their price movement is very volatile and it dips at any time, you are surely bound to just exit it from there. So hold only those shares from the sectors whose business you understand, and you can stay in news. The reason of holding on to 10 to 12 stock is you can follow those 10 to 12 stocks. You can stay in news for those 10 to 12 stocks. But if you hold something like 20-25 stocks, you won't be able to grow it up to a lot size. You won't be able to be in news and know everything about those 20-25 stocks. But yes, if your stock holding is much lesser, your portfolio is much less, you can definitely stick to the news and stay in news for those stocks. So friends, I'll be sharing more videos in future. This was just the basic and give you an idea why you should be an investor. And definitely in my upcoming video, I'll talk more about how the stock market functions and how you can trade using various tools. So if you like my content, definitely hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Press that bell icon for more updates, and do share it with your friends.